Patrick, actor is trying to get to his to pick up his award, and where he's. I'm assuming a lot of us have been to Times Square before, and the chaos of that kind of analogy.
I enjoyed the actor. He was on point. It felt very fluid. Him getting out of bed, like grabbing his knee. I just felt like it was just a natural. He was in his natural element, going through the phases of old age. Even though it says here he was going for his award and he's having that obstacle to cross the road, I think it's a great way to interpret the manifestation of Alzheimer's disease, because he could have been dressing up going to an award that probably didn't even happen, and he's just discombobulated all over the place, can't cross the road, not knowing where he's going. So that's one way of interpreting how that was portrayed. But overall, I really liked it.
Again, I really liked the way it was shot. I love the angles, and I love the soundtrack. And again, I wonder, is that the director or the DP that was calling those shots? But and it had a very surprise ending. Like you think it's going to be the happy ending, that he really gets there, but then he doesn't. But then it's still it ends on this like happy tone, and that was unexpected.
I thought that I was there in the film, like I couldn't cross the street, and I thought that the director really pulled in together, and I think it was the director, that what it's like to be old and having those infirmities that don't allow you to accomplish what you want to do. And I just thought that the perspective on it was just brilliant.
Speaking of perspective, I did notice, and I guess this was a choice, but a lot of it was overexposed. And so I'm thinking, is this was it like a metaphor for it's too much for him, he's overwhelmed by everything? So you know what I mean? Lots of times it was hard to actually see the picture because it was so overexposed.
I really love this film, and I love the different range of emotions that you go through during watching this film. I didn't think of it as an Alzheimer's per se, but I thought of it as what it's like to be an older person and how that is an everyday problem, how elderly people aren't noticed. This is why we hate aging in our culture, and I think it is good for everyone this to think about. The only criticism I have of this one is I like a really strong beginning and ending. You really want to get into it right away. And I did feel that his acting at the very beginning when he's in bed, he was looking too straight at the camera, and it just wasn't strong in the beginning. From the moment he gets up, it's great, but I would just redo that very beginning. Reshoot.
I love this movie. My focus was on the man that helped him finally cross the road. And to me, it was so much about that one man that noticed this man that needed some help when there was so many people not noticing, and then all the people waving on the bus. It made his day. So my focus was, that's the part I enjoyed the most.
Yeah, it was interesting about that, where he wins his award because he crosses the street. It's all a matter of perspective. Like, my son just turned 1, and he walked all the way across our living room, and that's a huge achievement. We're all excited, we're waving and clapping his hand. It's kind of the circle of life where this man crossed the street, and then the people are clapping and waving at him, and like, yeah, you did it. And he got his award. It's sort of like, that's sort of like the conclusion of that film. So the person who said no will go to the next film.